This is the only way it's gonna work. Let's get into it. Band Time Podcast Edition.
These niggas sound stupid saying they invented me, but arguing with fools is a waste of...
It's your time, it's his time, it's Bam's time. Bam's time to shine, your time to shine too, man. Yes, you. We got another video, we got another banger coming for y'all. Now, this is a reaction video, kind of. I know I said podcast in the beginning, but you know, I decided to do it this way. You're gonna see the video pop up. I gotta watch this with y'all because it kind of ties into what I've talked about in the podcast a couple months back with my uncle. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Y'all gonna be able to see it right here. Let's get it.
A lot of women to be like, oh, if he don't accept my kids, then he don't accept me. But that's not true. I do accept you. I don't like the fact you got kids, but they cool. I'm not gonna not do nothing for your kids, but he might not want to establish a relationship with your kids. How you feel about that?
That would definitely make me feel a certain type of way. Because we over here doing what we doing and being in a relationship together. And now I have these kids in the house with me. And you mean to tell me you don't want to build no type of relationship with them? This is not one big happy family? Is that not what this is? You accepted me, but you can't accept the kids. So when it's time for us to, when I want to do family shit, have a family day or a family weekend and go out of town and shit like that, what, you just not going to be a part of it?
But he be a part of it. But it's not like I'm trying to create a bond with your kid.
I'm just here.
Like, I'm here. I fuck with them. I don't have no problem with your kids. But I'm not really trying to fill those shoes.
That's something that you should talk about before you take somebody seriously when it comes down to dating somebody with kids.
And that's the reason why I said that I did not have them want to date nobody with kids. And I did not care if somebody wanted to date me.
More about the dating people with kids thing. So you know we have to give our opinion on that. Now listen, she eloquently, that's the word of the day, eloquently, you feel me? I think that means clear, says something clear, something like that, right? Eloquently. She eloquently stated how you feel about, you know, him not wanting to establish a bond. The other girl said that would bother her. And here's the thing about the bond thing. The man, this is a story they're telling. So I'm gonna be honest. Here's the thing when you establish a bond with them. It sounds like he took the safe route. Because if he establishes a bond with them, the bond comes first. I wrote down things too. I really prepared for this. I wrote down certain things. You can't see it because of the light, but I wrote down certain things that will follow up to this that I could actually include on why step parenting will only work, or dating somebody with a kid will only work if you do these things. And the bond shit is important. But here's the thing. Let's form a bond, right? At some point in time, am I going to be able to discipline this child? After me and this child, son or daughter, has formed a genuine bond. Because me, personally, if I'm going to deal with someone with a kid, I'm not just going, oh, what's up, little bruh? Pat him on his head, you know what I'm saying? And then go about my business, not really care. Like, obviously, in the beginning, I don't know him. He don't know me. I don't love this kid. He don't love me. We don't know each other. You feel me? We have to get there. We have to establish that bond. But let's say that bond does happen. That she's saying that she wants. Okay. Am I able to discipline this kid? Am I able to, like, how are we doing this? And that leads to the very first thing that leads to one of the first things on this list. So first thing on this list, why it will only work. This is the only way it will work. You have to talk about what is your situation with your baby daddy or your baby mama? What is the situation? When is the last time y'all have done anything as far as dating and stuff like that? When is, how often is this person coming around for the child? Is this person involved in the child? You know, I'm just going to speak for baby daddy situation since I'm a man. And women, y'all could speak on for the baby mama, you know, you could apply it to yourself. How often is the baby daddy coming around? Is the baby daddy around? Is he handling his business? Is he taking care of his responsibilities? Are you just carrying the load, or like, what is it? What's the situation? You feel me? I have to know these things. You feel me? I have to know, okay, does he just pop up whenever? Because if I'm dealing with you, the only time he should be calling is if it's about the child. hey, what medicine does he need, or okay, his daycare ends at this time, his school ends at that time, he's graduating, whatever. All that type of stuff is cool, but that should only be that's the only communication y'all should have. I'm not saying you gotta hate each other I'm not saying one of y'all should want each other dead somewhere, but that other than that should be only communication. Talk about what you expect / want. And that kind of ties into what this girl was just saying. She was saying, like, a man like the first girl was talking about how a man gonna be there, but like he ain't really gonna do too much. Like he gonna take care of your kid, but he ain't gonna really care about establishing a bond. I'm like, he cool, he fuck with them, but that ain't like he not on that bond shit. And the other girl was like, well, why? Like, if I have a family day, you just gonna be there, you're not gonna be interacting, like you're not. Here's the thing. You gotta talk about that ahead of time. Like, what do you what do you want from this? Like, what do you want from this? Oh, I want you to treat my kid like he's yours. Okay. Do you know what that like what that really means? Or are you just saying that shit because it sound good? That's what everybody be fucking saying. Do you know what that shit really mean? Or are you just saying that to sound like everybody else? Because that don't just mean I'm buying him. That don't just mean I'm buying him or her something. That don't mean I'm just paying for food. That don't mean I'm just taking them to school, taking them to practice, picking them up. That don't mean that's not what that's part of it. But that there's other things that involve in that. After me and him have established a bond, and let's say he do something that he's not supposed to do, am I able to say something to him? Am I able to discipline? I'm not saying I gotta come in on some super forceful shit, but it's gonna come a point in time where I'm gonna have to be a parent. It can't just be on some friend shit. Yeah, we gotta establish a bond first. I'm not gonna just come in there, hey bro, you need to do this, nah, I'm not doing that. I understand that. But at the same time, let's say we have a kid together. And then you have your son or your daughter, and our kid, my biological kid, and your first kid, they're close in age. They both do something they're not supposed to do. Am I supposed to just discipline my kid and not discipline this kid? I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna get the same treatment as this kid. I'm not gonna put my hands on this child, but you're gonna get the same treatment as my biological kid. Oh, you can't discipline me. You're not my dad. Okay. It's only you're their dad when it's time to buy stuff, when it's time to do this and do that. You know, you're only important when you're supposed to be helping out financially, but you ain't important with the other shit though. I find that shit very, very interesting how the conversations is, you know, what is he doing for so and so? What is he doing for him? The conversations is never, or do they have a bond? You know, how well do they get along? What does he want from this, or even anything? It's never any of that. It's always, what is this person doing? Did this person help with the tuition? Did this person help with the school? Like, did this person buy food? All that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you have to talk about what you expect and what you want. Cause I've been in that shoe somewhat, not to a high ass degree. But me personally, let's say if I were to do that, which at my point right now in my life, I don't see myself doing that ever. At my point in my life right now, if I'm dealing with somebody, hypothetically, I'm gonna be like, so now having the experience and knowledge, like, hey, what you want from this? Like, what are we doing exactly? You know, when you're telling me to treat them like my own, but that, you know, that means in everything. You know, raising a kid, that's not just doing the buying stuff, right? And I'm gonna let you know now, it's not gonna only be your kid when things is going good. I mean, it's not gonna be our kid when things are going good. But it's only your kid when things is going left. It's time to discipline uncomfortable things. Like, nah, it's not gonna work like that. It's not about to be only your kid in certain areas. If you want me to treat them like my own, that's in everything. That's not just in one thing. So if you want just in one thing or two things, then this ain't the situation. This ain't for me. Like, that's just what it is. And I already talked about forming a genuine bond. You have to form a genuine bond. You know what I'm saying? The genuine shit is so underrated and undisputed. Like, if you're just there, that's why it's like I said, the dude who they're talking about in the video, if he's just there doing like whatever, he don't really care to form a bond, he not even wrong, because in my opinion, if he forms that bond, is something that he doesn't want to be taken away from him. Not saying that if him and a girl break up that she'll never let him see the kid again. You never know. That does happen. But I'm just saying, like, it's certain things, because now your dad is telling me, hey, I don't want you doing this with my kid. You know, I'm his dad, da-da-da-da. But your dad is going to be the same person that get on me, try to get on me if I bring pizza from my biological son, but not yours, but not his. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just, all right, we picking and choosing too much. That's why they tell people not to even deal with no shit like this. So forming a genuine bond, very important. Uncomfortable conversations. We run away from it. Put the step kid to the side. People run away from that shit, period. But if you're in a situation where you are taking care of somebody else's kid and you are looking at them as your kid as well, it has to be times like, hey, like, so how you, like a mental check-in, like, hey, how you dealing with this? Like, how you dealing with, you know, whoever is the person who has a kid. So if you're a man and you with a girl who has a kid, or vice versa, that person should be coming to you like, hey, so how you dealing with this? Like, how you dealing with, you know, like my child, you know, the situation I have with their parent, with the father, whatever. How you dealing with it? And then you say how you dealing with it, and y'all just talk about some stuff. Maybe you don't like some stuff, you do like, whatever, you know. Hey, you know, if we in the house, hey, I ain't telling him no bullshit. I'm not on some, hey, go do this, go do that. But if I say, you know, we gotta, you know, the house gotta be clean. You guys' rooms needs to be clean. And he don't clean his room, I have to say something to him like, hey, why you ain't clean your room? Or I didn't want to, or if he tries to say, oh, you're not my pops, whatever, then it's more so, I'll probably damn near have a conversation with him. I mean, how come now that I'm telling you to clean? I don't know if I have it with him or have it with the mom or whoever. I don't know how I go about that, to be honest, but I just find it very funny how I'm not your pops. Only time you get the label, you not their dad, or you're not this, you're not that, either by the child or by immediate family, is when you telling them to do something. But you were their parent when you was picking them up from school. You was their dad when you was helping him with his homework. You was their dad when you was in the backyard with him. You was the dad when you was cooking for him, when you was doing all these extra things. Not even extra, all these things that you should be doing if you taking in somebody's kid. You know what I'm saying? But now when it's going like a little left, it's time to be a little uncomfortable, like an uncomfortable convo. Like, hey, why you ain't clean your room? Nah, your brother clean, you gotta clean your room. You gotta fall in. These is the rules. We do, everybody, it's a pecking order. We do what we do. Make sure y'all got a roof over your head, food to eat, you know, to get you to school, do what you gotta do. But you gotta fall in line. You gotta clean. This is bare minimum. You gotta clean up the room. This is where you live. This is your habitat, bro. This is where you breathe. You should not want to be in a dirty area. So I'm gonna need you to clean up this room. Now you can't say something like that. You get what I'm saying? Or it turns into something. Then the kid might go run back and tell his man, if his dad is in his life, the kid will go back and say that, and then now the dad is, that's another thing. I didn't even write this down. You have to see who the dad is before. I said the baby daddy shit, but you have to see the baby daddy. Is the baby daddy on some bullshit? Meaning like he's just upset that his baby mama not with him no more. So now even if you're telling the kid something reasonable, he just finds anything to say. You have to look at him like, what type of person is, like, what type of person? Oh, the past don't matter. Sometimes it can matter, because I'm looking at him. Is he the type to get upset at me taking a fucking picture with this kid? Is he the type to get upset if I say the slightest thing? Because that comes back to haunt you. That comes back and play a part. Now he's telling the baby mama, why you letting another dude woo woo woo? And then now messing with her, and then it got mayhem. You supposed to, if you got a kid who, if you're in a baby mama, baby daddy situation, you supposed to want whoever to be around someone like, okay, you know, this a good dude, or this a good woman. You know, I like my kid around this person. Don't touch my child. I don't even hit my kids. If you're a person who don't hit kids, don't touch my daughter. But I'm not mad if you tell her to clean her room. I'm not mad. Like, you a good dude. You know what I'm saying? You like, we ain't gotta be buddy or nothing like that. Probably not. We're not gonna be buddy, but it's like, okay, he a good dude. Cause that's who I need her to be around. Good people. so she can come up right whenever she's not with me. I'm probably gonna have her 3-4 days out the week. It's gonna be split. You know what I'm saying? So when you're not with me, I want you around a good person. So I want her to date somebody who's gonna not be on no bullshit. And then he gonna see me, okay, real stand up dude. You know what I'm saying? Situation with her just didn't work out, whatever the case may be. Real stand up dude. All right, bet. Now I know. These things matter. Y'all think like when they say past doesn't matter, there's certain things. Yes, everybody has something in their past that they want to forget, or it made them who they are today. But you do got to understand there are certain things you do not want to play with. If you're dealing with somebody who has a past baby daddy or baby mama or whatever, and that person's on straight bullshit, bro, it's gonna become your problem too. In every category. It's going to become your problem too. This shit people don't want to hear. So you know what people do to prevent this? They don't deal with people with kids. That's just what it is. Another thing on this list, make sure it isn't money first. And this is applied to the parent, like the baby mama or the child's mom, and then the family too. Make sure here's the thing that you want to make sure that you're not dealing with. You want to make sure that you're able to even form a genuine bond with this child first before we're talking about doing things for them and all that. Because if you a person who say, yeah, I've done this, I've done that, I ain't done nothing too major. I don't even know the kid like that. They be like, it doesn't matter. Like if you dating him or her, you're supposed to do this and that. Like, hold on. What's wrong with trying to form, like, not necessarily force it, but what's wrong with wanting to actually, get to know him, especially if it's a little kid, like a little kid. What's wrong with that? I'm actually showing that I care. I actually want to see this person. Like I want to make time to see this person. Obviously, we don't know each other. I'm not saying I love this kid, he loves me, nothing like that. But I actually want to get to know this child and hopefully get the opportunity to form a bond with this child. Hopefully it just happens. It's not something I'm trying to force, but it's something I definitely do want. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot going on through his mind while his parents ain't together. So, it's going to come me and him going to have some talks. What's wrong with that? Being at the park, just having a conversation like, hey, I know this is probably hard for you. What's wrong with that? When the immediate family starts saying stuff like, oh, is he paying for this? Is he helping with this? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? Especially if they're saying that because that person isn't getting help from the baby daddy or baby mama, that's a problem too. Because now you're supposed to fill the shoes that this person didn't fill. It's another reason why they say don't even put yourself in that position. The question shouldn't just be, did he do this for his birthday? Did he get him this for Christmas? Did he help with his tuition? Did he do this? Did he do that? All that shit from immediate family, friends, all that shit. That shouldn't be the only things being asked. It should be asked, oh, how well do they get along? Has he had a chance to meet him? How is he even dealing with knowing that you have a kid? Have you helped him or her, be at ease with this situation? Like, any of these comforting questions, any of these comforting things. It should not just be what that person is doing for the kid. Because now it's like, damn, it's money first. It's like nobody cares about, because I'm going to tell you right now, the minute you feel like, damn, like nobody asking me how I feel about this shit, nobody taking care, somebody's going to come and tell you. And it's going to be it's going to be probably one of your close people telling you, you need to stop this shit. Your close friend, if it's a real friend, they're going to tell you, bro, don't even do that shit, bro, because there's just no point. It's nothing against the kid. It's always with the immediate shit. The beginning, it's not even really about the kid. It's just the immediate people and what you're expected to. That's why, like I said, you got to have situation with the baby dad or baby mama. Talk about what you expect / want, forming a genuine bond, uncomfortable conversations, mental check-ins about how you're doing dealing with the situation. That kind of ties into the comfortable situations. Make sure it isn't money first. Also, responsibility without authority. You can't have this bond formed in the minute, like I said already, a lot of this shit ties into each other. You can't have one without the other. You can't be on some, you can't be expected to do all this for him, right? Because, oh, I don't want him doing too much for my kid. I don't want him doing too much for my kid. That's what the baby daddy gonna say, right? Okay. You're limited. You're just super limited. Even after 3-4 years, limited. Good bond and all. Now, you're not even going to take it out on the kid. You know what? I'm just going to step back. It's nothing against you. Nothing against you, Mike. It's nothing against you, little bruh. Like, it's nothing against you. It's what the immediate people are doing. So now, hey, why you ain't get my kid pizza, but you got yours? Oh, it's interesting now. Now we're talking about what I didn't do for him. You want me to do all this stuff, but I can't even take a picture. I can't conversate. I can't tell him anything. Interesting. Now you want some, you know what? Like, I'm not doing nothing. And then when you don't do anything, now you're the bad guy. I see some people, like, the whole term treat them like your own. That's only gonna happen if the mom or the dad lets you. And I see a lot of situations work where it's the dad who had a kid and a new woman stepped in, because the dad will let. I know people personally who will let their woman or their wife, their girl, discipline their daughter, even like after the bond is formed, or discipline his kid after the bond is formed. Because like I said, a man has had an auntie that every woman says this: don't leave your kid with me if I can't do this and that. Don't, like, women are able to do that. They can step in. I done got whipped by somebody who wasn't my mom. You get what I'm saying? Like, women are able to step in and do that. Women, like, bro, you see it all the time. That auntie that says, don't leave your kids with me. If I can't do this, don't leave them with me. I don't care. That cut up is me and them. Man can't do that. So you know what they say? Don't even deal with it. I don't recommend. And if you're a person who doesn't have kids, personally, don't do it. Just don't do it. Unless if you get to a certain age, maybe in your late 30s or some shit, and you like, fuck it. But other than that, don't do it. Don't do it. But if you a person, I'm gonna say this right now. If you a person and you guys have those uncomfortable convos, if there's a situation right now, you guys have those uncomfortable convos, you guys, you're not doing the whole responsibility without authority. You have a genuine bond with this kid. This kid, like, F's with you, you F with the kid, but you do let them understand, like, you know, there are limits. I do have to set limits. There's boundaries. That person makes sure you're good. That woman makes sure that you're good. Hey, how you dealing with the kid? All this, like, how you dealing with it? The immediate family isn't only looking at for what you do for the kid versus actually being a father figure to the child. They actually understand what it means to treat the kid like yourself. Then don't even, like, this video is not for you. Here's the thing about these things. People get mad when they see certain shit like this, certain books, certain videos about anything. But they don't understand. They don't have to necessarily apply to you if your situation isn't like this. There's a situation out there right now that they're doing good because they have these talks. They have these, you feel me? They have all this shit going on. So they're flourishing. This don't mean you can't flourish. We just saying don't have all these requirements, these rules, what you can do, what you can't do, even after you form a bond, but then you're supposed to treat them like your own. It doesn't work like that. It's either I'm all in or I'm not. It's that simple. Y'all make sure to share this video, like it, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you new. Bantam going up. We almost at 700 subscribers. Rest in peace to Kari, my grandma, and I'm gone.